Hey, it's Jared with Hill Media Group. We help small businesses and organizations grow online without the overwhelm. And I've been diving deep into AI tools. It seems like new and exciting things are released every single day. But one of the useful tools that I've spent some time with is Claude Artifacts. Now, Claude is an AI tool like ChatGPT. It essentially does similar things, but Claude just released a tool called Artifacts, where it allows you to build out a tool with a user interface where you can input some information and then that tool will use Claude to generate the output. And I thought to myself, man, how hard would it be to create tools that perform the services that I provide for my clients? You see, a long time ago, when I first got started in web design, I thought to myself, how long could I potentially be building websites for clients before software makes it so easy to build a website that nobody's going to need to hire me to do that? Well, fast forward 25 years later, and I'm still building websites for clients because even though the tools are great and the tools are continuing to get better, like AI tools, it still is not replacing somebody who can truly understand the uniqueness of a business. We'll just look at these tools and you'll start to see where maybe they get you 75% there, but there's still that 25% where a real person is going to be the differentiator. So I have these tools available for you on my website within the article that I'm talking about here. And I created 3 different AI tools. 2 of them replace services that I provide, or at least attempt to. And one of them is a dynamic tool that could replace a service that a customer of mine offers. So the first thing that I wanted to do was figure out, can I build a tool that will create service area pages for a website? An SEO best practice is to have pages on your website for the different service areas. For example, I'm located in Kalispell, Montana. But if I wanted to show up or potentially rank in the search engines for neighboring towns and cities, I would need content on my website that speaks of those locations so that Google would understand that I serve those areas. Building out these pages can be kind of tedious, so I built a tool that does this for you. All right, so here is the tool. I could go ahead and enter something like domestic auto repair services. I can enter some customer pain points that are solved, such as same-day appointments. I can enter in the location. I could then choose the communication tone. We'll go expert and technical, the page length, and then the platform in which this content is going to be produced. Is it like an HTML website, WordPress, Squarespace? And then we'll hit generate content. It spends a few moments to think, and then we jump down and we have SEO elements. We have target keywords, page content, why to choose our domestic auto repair services in Kalispell. And we have all the information that we would need here, including some call to actions, some image recommendations, some internal linking opportunities so that we could link to other pages on our website that potentially exist, how to provide social proof, and then an implementation guide for implementing this content into our website. The output is really cool. This is information that a business could use to build out a service area page, and then they can simply go back to that tool, change out the locations, maybe put in some location-specific information for that service area, and then just generate, rinse and repeat, create multiple pages for their website with ease. This is an extremely useful tool for a company that wants to reach additional areas outside of the town or city that their business exists in. Now, number 2 is a tool that turns a potential customer into a DIYer. It is a vehicle oil change instruction generator. This tool allows you just to simply enter in brief information about your vehicle, and it produces a detailed instructional guide on how to change your oil, but not just basic information. It asks you what your level of mechanical experience is, and it customizes it based on that. So you could really see how useful a tool like this would be. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I'm going to put in a 1998 Ford Ranger 4-wheel drive with 210,000 miles on it and a medium experience and mechanical level. And the oil change assistant is actually connecting to Claude and generating unique instructions based on the vehicle. It's going to give us information that is specific to the age of the vehicle, the amount of mileage. It's going to give us a cost breakdown projection. It's going to give us the part numbers and oil type that we need for this vehicle. vehicle. It is a lot of great information that a professional typically would provide us with. And yeah, you can go and learn how to change your oil in a YouTube video, but what this gives you is custom information based on your specific vehicle. A YouTube video might not have your specific year, might have two-wheel drive when you need four-wheel drive, something like that. It may not be specific to the amount of mileage that your vehicle has, but this does that. It tells you what tools you're going to need, how much time it's going to take. Here's the part numbers for the oil filter, recommendations for change intervals, safety precautions, step-by-step instructions, some troubleshooting, some maintenance recommendations, estimated costs, and then disposal information on how to properly dispose of the waste that's produced from endeavoring on changing your own oil. So this is a pretty neat tool. I mean, I could just manually type this into ChatGPT or Claude and get a similar result, but what this has done is it's formatted it into a really nice document that I could then print out, or I can copy these instructions and then save them in a Word document or in a Google Doc or something like that. This tool is really neat and could be something that an auto repair facility that doesn't do oil changes provided on their website as a tool for their customers to use, essentially providing a free resource with professional advice and instruction. Now, for the third tool, I really wanted to test and see how far I could go in creating a tool. I wanted something extremely dynamic. So I created an AI-powered email marketing sequence generator. Now, what in the heck is that? Well, the best practice for business communication is to welcome new customers with an email welcome sequence. This would be a series of emails that you send to a new customer that introduces them to the company, that lets them know of some different services and offerings that the company has, and warms them up to other products or services that your business might have. So with this tool, I could go ahead and use the same concept. Let's do domestic auto repair facility offering oil changes and complete repair services. Short business history, we'll put second generation mechanic, ASE certified, Christian owned, customer pain point solved, honest and affordable, same day appointments. Customer success story, we can just copy and paste something in. We will choose friendly and conversational. We'll choose a length of 5 emails. This will generate 1 to 12 emails. And so this is an email sequence that can be sent out over a period of time. So say you had 8 emails, you can have it send those emails out over the course of a couple weeks or a couple months. This tool will actually give you recommendations on how often you should send out emails. So let's go ahead and choose 5. We want a medium length, and then we'll choose our email platform. We'll leave it at MailChimp, and then we'll hit generate with AI. So it's actually going to use Claude to generate specific content that makes sense based on what we provided here. So this is going to be an email sequence that an auto repair facility could send out that utilizes real customer success stories, discusses real customer pain points, gives unique backstory from that actual business because we provided that, and shares the different products or services that are available. Obviously, we would want to build out this content a bit more before we submit it, but this will give us a general idea of what the output looks like. And we have our results. Now, the tool does say it might take 30 to 60 seconds. This actually took closer to 2.5 minutes. But we have our AI-generated email sequence. It produces a sequence summary showing us exactly what it came up with. We have our first email, welcome and introduction, sending timing immediately. It gives us 3 different email subject lines that we can choose from, and it gives us the content. We also have a call to action, some image recommendations that we could use in the email, and also some social proof recommendations as well. Then we have email 2 that it recommends we send out on the second day, subject lines, email content, call to action, image recommendation, social proof. Same for email 3, email 4, and email 5. So you can see we have now 5 emails that can send out over the course of 10 days, introducing and welcoming people to our business that look and feel as if they were written by the business owner. Now, of course, I would want to read through this and check for accuracy and make sure that AI didn't come up with anything, but these are all looking really good. And these are emails I wouldn't mind receiving from a local business that I worked with. Then we have the MailChimp implementation guide down here and a reminder of compliance, making sure that we have an unsubscribe link in our email and just different stuff like that. So these are amazing tools that create really good content and information that we could use in our businesses or provide for our customers. For businesses running on a tighter budget, they could definitely deploy something like this to generate the content that they need to market and communicate with their customers. There are, however, some critical limitations that I ran into when using these. Number one is that it's relative fixed output. Even though it is connecting to AI, it's working within templated frameworks and utilizing information that might be fixed and not adaptable to exactly what you need for your business. Because this is an artifact, it's not conversational, so I can't ask it to make little changes here and there like I could if I was in a typical AI chat. I probably would use a regular AI chat to generate one-off information like this for my business. But if I was to use these tools, the information would start to look templated and copycat. There wouldn't be enough uniqueness to it. And so your content would end up looking just like anybody else's that used the tool as well, especially if you were in a similar industry. Number two is the development process for these was not as straightforward as you would think. The service area tool took about 30 minutes of debugging to function properly. It just didn't work right out of the gate. And the email sequence generator took hours to figure out, and it was spitting all sorts of results that weren't working out until I finally figured out exactly what Claude needed to know so that it can generate a tool that was useful. And then, of course, number three is the generic strategy application. Now, AI obviously excels at producing well-written copy. I use it to help me get started and get a rough draft put together that then I can customize and adapt to exactly what I need. But we can't simply just copy and paste what AI has generated for a couple different reasons. First of all, it's probably not unique enough and specific to our business, which means it's not going to sound authentic. Second of all is that a lot of AI copy, you can kind of tell AI wrote it. It's not in the tone of your company. It doesn't seem like you wrote it, so it's obviously AI generated. And number three is that it might not be positioned for your individual market or your customer base, which means it's not going to land the way that you wanted to because your customers are expecting to be spoken to differently. So while many of us are having conversations about whether or not AI is going to replace our jobs, I think AI is a tool that helps us do our jobs better. Of course, there are going to be people who just use AI and copy and paste, and there's lots of people doing that. The solution providers that are going to rise to the top are the ones that are using AI to test and confirm their ideas, but not generate them from scratch. AI helps me with real-time refinement. It helps me prevent unnecessary complexity, and ultimately I'm able to produce results faster. Not because I let AI do all the work, but because I let AI augment the work that I'm already doing. So will AI produce marketing services that I would provide or even services that you would provide? I don't think it will yet. Obviously, it can provide a lot of useful information and create tools that can be useful in certain situations, but it's not going to be able to replace the lived experience that you have in providing solutions that solve customer problems and being able to speak about it from experience. So the bottom line is these tools are awesome and they're great to use. I definitely love testing and trying different things and seeing what kind of outputs I get. But I know that for businesses that truly want to connect with their customers, they're not going to be able to use AI tools to completely replace somebody that understands the human experience and strategic thinking. Businesses can certainly use tools like AI to support their marketing efforts, but using it to completely replace strategic guidance means that you're going to get results that look just like everybody else's. The real opportunity lies in combining AI's efficiency with human insight to deliver better results faster, not replace one with the other. So what are your thoughts? Are you afraid that AI is going to replace your job? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And if you've tried using AI to market your business, let me know how that went down in the comment section. I'd love to hear it. But that's going to do it for today. Thanks so much, and we'll see you back in another one soon. Take care.